Bree, how's my fried rice? I just want to know.
Chris made breakfast this morning. Link
Terrible.
Terrible.
Terrible. Terrible.
Yep.
Is there anything you cannot cook that
There's
is
a
amazing?
lot. Yeah. Anything that doesn't taste good, I don't cook it.
And you said there's quite a lot of butter in this fried rice.
There's butter.
Do you use garlic? A
Yeah.
lot?
Yeah.
There's onions.
There's onions. Yeah.
Mm.
I use garlic powder.
No, the senator's asking you about your fried rice.
Oh, sorry, Senator. Yes. Good
One more
morning.
time?
No, the secret is butter.
Yeah.
I've learned that. I used to have a competition with my other half trying to make who's the best fried rice. Come to find out, his was always number one.
Yeah.
And I found out he was sticking butter in there.
Yeah. So what I do is I put a little bit of olive oil, and then I put a pat of butter in there, and I saute the onions in it, and then you throw it
Right.
on the rice. Yeah, and that's it. And then you put
Wow.
more butter.
Butter.
And then you put more butter, and then you put butter on the eggs, and then you do the eggs, and you get, yeah, Brie. But don't worry, because I could put a lot of butter because I use Canadian bacon, and that's like healthy, right? Is that healthy?
Yeah, bacon's healthy.
Bacon's healthy, yeah, there you go. Bacon is what we call pandemic healthy. 904 Senator Telo Taitague joins us. Good morning, Senator, and happy belated birthday to your dad.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for the shout out. He's so appreciated. 92 years old. I tell you, his secret to life, and he always shares it with everybody, is that you don't worry. You just feel it and then let it go. Don't worry. That's his secret.
That's the secret. That explains a lot. Okay, all right, okay. Well, Senator, you're about to go into session 9:30. I believe that discussion is centering around this. Is it $1 billion healthcare center of excellence?
Yes, it's about 1.067 something. Yeah.
Billion. Now I want to make sure this isn't a typo. B with a B. B like Barnett. Billion.
Billion, absolutely. It's no kidding. In fact, it's let me give you the correct number because I attended a lot of the task force meetings.
That's right.
It's 1,067,300,000 to be exact. But after the governor uses her ARP funding, which has still not been approved, and we asked that question yesterday, hasn't yet to be approved if she can use that money for the hospital. So you take that, subtract 300,000, you're left with
300 million.
Yeah, 300 million, and then 767,300,000 is left to fund. However, this bill that we're addressing right now is only funding $600 million. So where's the 167,300,000 going to come from? That's not even been addressed. And not only that, the Army Corps of Engineers said that this is going to take a couple years. So we can also anticipate, inflation rates for construction. So this amount could go even further. But we're still in discussion. Yesterday, we finished up on the war claims bill. And that went through. In fact, there were two bills introduced.
Yeah.
One that I proffered, Bill 128.9, and then Bill 130 got on the session agenda. Well, when
Was
you're in
that-
power.
Was that Senator? Because I was a little confused. You and Senator Moylan both came out with the war claims bills.
Senator,
sorry.
Tina Barnes came out. So I came up with a war claims bill that I've been working on for months to actually put something together that talks about the commission, to make sure that this doesn't become political in nature at all, holding hostage.
Oh, too late.
Payments out, right? And well, put it this way, not another RISE Act issue in this scenario.
A Ruse Act?
Yeah, the RAISE Act, yeah. So I created this legislation that would create a commission as well as the funding source and discuss the rules and regulations, etc. But 3 hours later, after my bill was introduced, she introduced her bill. And her bill just said, give it to the governor, let her pay it out. And she could use Section 30 money. So it's just... So with that being said, there was no way I was going to let this bill that was very, had no framework involved. And I knew that the other side had the votes. So the best thing to do at this point was to try and do as much as I can to fix this bill and put in mechanisms in there that brings fairness, across the board. Putting a panel together, a commission together from the mayor's office, decolonization, the speaker's office, one from the public, and then of course the governor's office. So that being said, that amendment, actually, when I tried to proffer it, it was objected by Senator Rigel, and the vote came in, and it was nine votes, so it passed, thank goodness. So at least I feel comfortable now with this bill coming up for vote, to vote yes on it, to move forward on it.
Well, good save.
Good, well, I hope so. Good save to the other 8 people who voted on this.
Yeah.
Good save.
Right on.
So, yeah. So I was real happy about that getting through. It was a great birthday present for my dad too, because he always wanted me to make sure to help those who missed the deadline, that they should be entitled to. I mean, everyone forgets. I even made a comment on session floor that, even 40-year-olds forget where they parked their car at Kmart, to try and remember, to make a deadline. It's difficult, especially when you're not techie savvy, and, the Manumcos don't constantly look at their phones like everybody else does. So it was a great birthday present for my dad. And I was able to tell him, it got through, Dad, we're going to have this war claims, and hopefully, but it's going to take some time, by the way.
Yeah.
I just, the funding source is Section 30. Unfortunately, this bill should have been heard and on the session floor way before the budget, because then we would have been able to set aside the money from Section 30. To set aside from Section 30 money, to pay for this. But unfortunately, the Section 30 money that came in September of this year has already been appropriated, the full amount. So it will take the next term around, or until the governor finds the money somewhere else. I don't think she can use ARP funding, but she needs to find the money. But other than that, we go back into session, like I said, at 9:30, and we will continue to discuss this hospital. It's been mentioned that it would probably be, if anything, be priority, because the other departments like public health and behavioral wellness put a price tag each of $100 million on top of that. So if you eliminate that and focus solely on the hospital, we're still short somehow. But one of the biggest concerns is, where is the funding? Why are we introducing a bill now? It's like the cart before the horse. And it's ironic because, I mentioned that at the beginning of the questioning. And then later on, I hear Mel from Gita saying the same thing, cart before the horse, on something else. Well, if you think about it, this whole bill is the cart before the horse. The funding, according to Daphne Shinzu of the EITC reimbursement, she anticipates this not coming in until maybe April or June. So it's kind of ironic we're addressing this right now. And that's what I got.
All right. Well, I wanted to ask about something.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention something, because I know you brought it up to Senator Brown. She mentioned it to me. The question was asked about the war claims, going back to the war claims. If my bill was so great on Bill 129, why didn't you motion it on the session floor? And I said, well, because it didn't meet the 5-day notification. It needs to meet that. If we're going to expect all these department and agencies to follow the rules that a law that we created, that we all voted for in favor of unanimously to pass, requiring a 5-day notice with the agenda on it, and then we don't do that same kind of practice. And I don't care who it is. I've always told the people of Guam, please, don't turn a blind eye. Say something. I understand some people don't want to get involved. That's fine. That's a prerogative. But if you have this opportunity, think about it. Think about it. If you're very unhappy with what's going on, very unhappy, then then you need to come out and speak on it, because there are other people who are right there beside you who feel the same way. So don't be afraid.
Senator, I wanted to ask about the news yesterday that came out of the Chamber of Commerce. They had a big luncheon. Boy, you're getting excited, huh?
Surprise, surprise, surprise. Woohoo! This really threw a wrench in that big windmill, you know. Stop. You know, what's that song? What's that song that stop? Everybody bend to deep. You know, it's a great song. Yeah, it's a great pause. Great news. You know, I think I have to tell you though, watching two governors being in their administration, Governor Camacho, I was a director of Women's Bureau, and then Governor Calvo, and I tell you, it's a thankless job. I have to tell you, it's a very thankless job. Anybody who wants this job, my hat's off to them. And if Congressman St. Nicholas wants to run and thinks he can do a better job, then I say go for it. You know, looking forward to what he has to offer. You know, let's see. You know, and if the governor wants to continue to run for re-election, my hat's off to her. We're keeping an eye on, and the people are going to make that final decision when it comes time. But in the meantime, from this time until November next year, let's see what you got.
Yeah. What did you make of the congressman's comment? He did this whole 3-minute thing, and he was like, "Oh, there's a crisis of confidence."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I think he's reiterating what the people of Guam are saying. You know, all the comments that even come on your show. You know, if you just go through every link show and see the comments, you'll see that people are very unhappy, and these people who usually don't say anything are coming out and saying things. You know, like I said, most people don't want to get involved, but now they're getting involved because they're not happy with what's going on today. The business community especially, you know, they're not getting help, and we read that a group of people in the tourist industry is asking for some funding. I mean, the ARP money was used to help these businesses stay alive so they can prepare and get ready for when, I don't know, well, hopefully this wave stops, you know, or to adjust to the new norm. And, you know, it's going to be a gradual, you know, phase getting back into what we consider norm. Even the Chamber of Commerce or this task force group that have gotten together to discuss about 75 million being distributed to those in the tourism industry. They don't anticipate tourism to even start getting ready until April of 2022. So that's many months ahead, and that's also lost revenue for this government. That's why it's so important, I think, that we start, saving some of the revenue that we're collecting in the government of Guam, but utilizing the ARP funding to help individuals who lost their job, businesses to stay alive, especially in an industry that we've been so used to. But number one, I think that's important, is to provide funding for those who want to readjust their career from maybe tourism to something else in IT, in healthcare, in other areas that aren't reliant on tourism. If this ARP money can go a long way, help train our community, to retrain them in a different direction than tourism. Look more into technology and investments into the government of Guam that will entice new businesses to the island. Environmentally friendly, by the way, first and foremost.
Senator,
but yeah.
Do you know the criticism that the congressman levied on when he was real coy? He was like, "I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but let me tell you, I'm talking about Lou."
That was funny. I tell you, the guy has a gift for gab. He's always had that gift of gab, and
yeah.
I think that's what has pushed him to his popularity. Because if you look at his record in the legislature and you pull that up, his record in the legislature, what he's done, what difference has he really made to the community? You'll find it's quite different. But if you look at his gift of gab, wow, you know. And you know, some people in this legislature is trying to take that and try to fly with maybe not the gift of gab, but you know, pumping out every type of legislation you can think of without even, you know, creating good legislation just for the sake of pumping it out because I put out a bill or attending a function just to show face, but not sincerely wanting to be there. You know, there's a lot of that going on, and that needs to stop.
I wonder who you're talking about.
Kind of like how Mike Nicholas referring to somebody, right?
No, but I'm saying with the criticism that he levied on the governor, right? I mean, I felt it was totally justified. But do you think that it's going to change anything, any behavior of hers moving forward? I mean, I'm talking things about like calling the senators, asking for a plan, getting your plan, never coming out with a plan. You know, just some of the difficulties that we've seen during this administration, especially in terms of like working together. Do you think that the governor is going to see what Congressman Nicholas has said and see that maybe it's resonating with a lot of people, and then maybe kind of change her tune a little bit?
Well, you know what was ironic is at the very beginning. Now I didn't see the the video on it. I read it, and how he came out with saying first and foremost, I'm not campaigning. You know, I'm not. This is not because I say I'm going to run.
Yeah,
you know, this
yeah.
because you know that was ironic to say that first. You know, and then go off on this is the reason why I'm running. You know, so I just think, you know, my hat's off to anyone, like I said, who wants to take on that position. It's a very difficult, thankless job. And I just hope that if Congressman Nicholas wants to pursue this, that, you know, he's he's sincere in every aspect of the word. And, you know, I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to offer that's any different from what we're having right now. And I think that's not going to be difficult to show.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, actually. What about you guys, the Republicans? What's going on with you guys?
You know, I have no idea.
Come on.
No, as far as who's going to run.
Yeah,
I
just
mean,
between
there's
us girls.
left and right, that who's going to run from Frank. Oh, they had me running for lieutenant governor. Oh my goodness. I would not be a very good lieutenant governor, I don't think. If a governor, you know, expects, it's very difficult to be a lieutenant governor. In other words, you have to basically not say anything. And dress
Are you talking about the Josh Tenorio approach to lieutenant governor?
You know, I have to tell you, I do like Josh, and he is one lieutenant governor that is trying his very best to be out in the forefront. You know, at the very beginning of this COVID, he was the one coming on your show.
Yeah,
and even apologized. Which is unfortunate. I hope he continues that, but he even came on to apologize for this administration's, you know, shortfalls, and he was not afraid to do that. You know, so I was very pleased. That's probably the kind of lieutenant governor I would be.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Not turning a blind eye.
Yeah.
Not turning a blind eye. You know, and
I think you'd be the kind of lieutenant governor we go to and be like, hey, what's your governor? What do you think of that? What thing your governor's doing?
and I would tell the truth, and that's probably why I would not be a good lieutenant governor.
Yeah, because we actually had a comment. Someone commented, can Telo confirm if she maybe run for governor? And the answer is no.
Oh, no. I don't think I would be able to even make it. You know, I think I could do better where I'm at right now as a senator, because I have no fear, whether it's a Republican, Democrat, Independent, to be able to speak out about something. If I see someone doing something wrong, I will say something. And that, of course, pushes a lot of people's buttons, because especially if I'm, you know, talking about that individual, and they will come up with all kinds of things. Oh my gosh, she stole a purse. She makes money from her company Telephoto. What else did they have me doing? Yeah, all these other things. Oh no, what was that great one that what's his name, Ray Tapashin said? She asked a question about how I was suing the board, and I think that's unethical. Oh my goodness, you're working for the government. You're on the taxpayer's dime here. You are responsible to say everything and whatever you do, public and transparent to the people of Guam. You answer to them. They're our boss. They are our boss. So.
Well, Senator, your bosses don't want you to be late for session, so I better let you go.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks for jumping on.
Please, yeah, and please keep an eye on what's happening with this, because like you said, it's a $1 billion project. It's money that we don't have in the bank right now, or not going to have until April. And the Army Corps of Engineers have said it's going to take them 2 years to even come up with a plan. Most especially is the property that they want to use it on. What about the original landowners on that particular property?
Good point.
That's a question that needs to be asked, because it's under DOD right now. And if they're going to give it to the government, why don't they give it back to the original landowners? And the government of Guam can compensate them fairly. You know, that needs to be addressed too. So everyone, create a great day, make it happen. You are the only one who can make your day great. Okay, bye you guys.
Thank you,
Bye,
Senator. Right on.
Love that. That's always a great closing line.
Yeah.
Love that.
9:24.